Good morning. Good morning. I hope you are having an amazing start to this day. It's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. We have triple digits again. We have a couple more days of triple digits, thus dressing appropriately for it. And today I am super excited to talk about this topic. And it's kind of building on yesterday's topic about excuses and how we make excuses for why we can't. We ask those questions. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? But. And the excuses keep us from getting what we truly want out of our life. And what ends up happening after that is some negative dialogue with ourselves on what's wrong with us. What's wrong with me? Why can't I do these things? Why am I so afraid to do these things? Well, I want to build on that and talk about the question that I asked in the description was, have you ever said, I'm harder on myself than anyone ever could be? And that was something that I used to wear like a badge. It was this thing no one can make me feel worse than I feel about myself when I make a mistake. Oh my goodness. When I say that out loud now, when I think that, why? Why do we have to be so hard on ourselves? Life's not easy, right? There's obstacles we face every single day, challenges that we face, raising children, working, creating our dreams, having all of the things that we want in our lives, all the obligation, all these things that present challenges. And why do we have to be so hard on ourselves? So first, I want to say, if you've said that to yourself, if you say that to yourself now, you don't need to be hard on yourself. Loving yourself is where it's at, because no one can love you more than you, right? And it starts with you and in your heart. And when you believe in yourself and you love yourself, you don't need to be hard on yourself, okay? So that's the first thing. The other thing with making excuses for why not, we're drawing off of our past experiences. We're afraid because what if I make this mistake that I made in the past? What if I fail and what will people think? That's drawing off of the past. So the second thing I want to say is you are not your past. Your past is not you. You are not defined by anything that has happened in your life. And what we tend to do is we tend to label ourselves as all of these things that have happened. I have failed. I am a failure. I am this. I am that. Instead of it being an experience. Now, I'll give you an example. For me, I was divorced and I felt like such a failure. I said those words to myself. This is not where I saw myself at all. This is not where I saw my life. And I felt like I was a failure. And that's not what it is. It was an experience in life that didn't work out. And I prefer to look at that like, what are the lessons that I learned? How could I grow from that? Now, I'll preface that with, that's not how I felt at the time, right? But today, when I look back, I didn't need to be hard on myself. What I needed was to love myself. And here's the third thing: give yourself grace. Life didn't come with a manual. You weren't born with this checkoff list that said, here's how life goes. Here's how you'll react. This is how you're going to feel. This is what you're going to do. No. Life happens every single day, and we do the best that we can with the knowledge that we have, with the tools that we have. I like to say the tools in our own chest, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. And until we experience things in life, until we meet people that mentor us and share with us their growth and their knowledge, we have what we have. And so sometimes we want to be hard on ourselves because of life happening, because we didn't know. We should have known. I should have known better. But you don't know what you don't know. And so give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Whatever mistakes you made in the past, whatever you experienced in the past, that is not who you are. So give yourself some grace. And the fourth thing is to trust yourself. To trust yourself to make decisions that are going to move you forward. And if something happens and it doesn't work out, you're not a failure. You tried, right? Things happen. We fail in business. We fail in life in all kinds of different places, those experiences. But that's not who you are. You are not a failure. Those experiences just didn't work out. And so sometimes we're afraid to take that step. And sometimes taking that step is healing, is trusting yourself that I can heal from these things, right? Trusting someone else to walk that journey with you. Like me, I trusted someone, my first coach that I ever hired. I trusted this person with my innermost thoughts, my fears, my worries, my joys, my wins, my losses. I didn't trust people along the way in my life, but there came a time when I knew that there was something more for me. And if I wanted to get that, I needed to trust someone. And so I chose to trust my first coach. I chose to trust myself that I would do the work that it takes to heal, to move forward. So I know that in life, we make mistakes. We have experiences that create this fear of the what if and the but, and all of the excuses that we make for not doing the things that we know we want to do. And wherever that fear is, that's the direction that you need to move in or choose to move in. So, you are not your past. None of those things are who you are. Give yourself grace because life happens and you are not those things that have happened in your life. And trust yourself. Trust yourself to know when it's time to step in. It's time to move forward. It's time to trust someone else. Because when you take that step, that's the first step to experiencing that peace and freedom that you're looking for, more joy, more fulfillment. And so I want to invite you today to take my Habit Finder thought assessment. It's your habits of thinking. It's no charge. It takes 10 to 15 minutes and it will identify the thought habits that are creating that fear. I'm not enough. Not giving yourself grace, being so hard on yourself. It'll identify some of those thought habits. And then we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about what are those areas. It's no charge. Why not do it? It takes 10 to 15 minutes. So I will put the link in the comments and I invite you to take that because you are made for so much more. And those excuses, those are just fear talking. And so let me just leave you with this one more time. You are not your past. Your past is not you. You are not those things. Give yourself grace and trust yourself. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Until then, have an amazing day and do one thing that's going to move you forward today. Have a great one.